At first glance, the place looks straight out of a dream. Rolling green fields, a dense forest, and little kids playing in the open air. This place is called Gracefield House. It's an orphanage, so pristine and peaceful that it puts you at ease before you even step inside. But in stories, the places that look the most idyllic usually hide the darkest, most terrifying secrets. This orphanage is home to kids of all ages. Some are 4, some are 10, and some are 11. They all treat each other like family, running around, laughing, studying. Their lives look completely normal. But if you look closely, 2 things immediately catch your eye. First, every single kid has a barcode tattooed on their neck. They don't have names. Their identities are defined by these numbers. Emma is 63194. Norman is 63194, and Ray is 8194. These numbers aren't just for identification. There's a much bigger reason behind them, but it's not time for that yet. Second, the orphanage is surrounded by a massive wooden fence. None of the kids are allowed to cross that fence, and there's a giant main gate that they are strictly forbidden from approaching. Taking care of all of this is a woman whom the kids affectionately call Mom or Mama. Her name is Isabella. She teaches them, plays with them, and takes care of every single need. Every day they take IQ tests, solving complex questions. Isabella tells them that these studies and exams are so that when a family adopts them outside, they can easily survive in the outside world. Everything seems completely normal. One afternoon, all the kids are playing a game of tag in the field. It's a massive game. Some kids hide inside the forest, and the chaser tries to find them. Today, the chaser is Norman, and Norman isn't your average kid. Using his sharp intellect, he has already mapped out the entire forest layout in his head. One by one, he anticipates where everyone is hiding and tracks them down. The younger kids who hid nearby are caught fast. The older ones put up a fight, but eventually they get caught too. Last is Emma, the most athletic and clever of all the kids. But Norman had already figured out her moves. Cutting off her escape route, Norman corners her with pure strategy and tags her. This game wasn't just to pass the time. For these kids, it was a workout for both body and mind, a way to keep their wits razor sharp. Right around that time, news arrives at the orphanage. A 6-year-old little girl named Connie, with big, expressive eyes, is getting adopted by a new family today. A family has come specifically for her. Connie is an innocent and sweet girl. She always carries a small stuffed bunny rabbit everywhere she goes, which she calls Little Bunny. She doesn't go a single second without that toy. By evening, it's time for Connie to leave. All the kids gather around to say goodbye. Some are smiling, some are crying. Connie wipes her tears and promises everyone that she'll write letters as soon as she gets out into the outside world. Ray, standing nearby, narrows his eyes with concern. Lots of kids have been adopted and left this orphanage, but to this day, not a single letter has ever arrived, and nobody has ever come back. Ray had shared this thought with Emma and Norman earlier, but right now, nobody says a word. Holding Isabella's hand, Connie walks toward the main gate. The rest of the kids just watch her walk away. A little while later, Emma and Norman are cleaning the main hall. Suddenly, Emma's eyes drift toward the table in the corner, and her heart skips a beat. Connie's beloved Connie Little Bunny toy is sitting right there. Emma immediately panics. Connie never goes anywhere without her toy. Absolutely never. Right at that moment, Ray walks in. Looking out the window, he mentions that the light at the main gate is still on. That means Connie might still be there. If the two of you go right now, you might be able to give her the toy in time. Emma and Norman know very well that going near the gate strictly violates the rules, but Connie's innocent eyes and sweet face flash right before Emma's eyes. Emma grabs the toy, and the two of them sprint toward the gate. As soon as they reach the main gate, they see a massive truck parked there. They try to peek inside to see what's going on. Maybe Connie is still inside the truck. They slowly move closer. Emma calls out for Connie, but there's no answer. They creep up to the back of the truck and peer inside. What they see inside shatters their souls completely. Connie's lifeless body is lying flat on the bed of the truck. Her expression is completely peaceful, and a strange red flower is planted right through her chest. The toy slips from Emma's hands and hits the ground. She starts shaking violently. Not a single sound escapes her mouth. Everything inside her feels utterly broken. At that second, footsteps echo from outside. Norman reads the situation in a single split second. He grabs Emma's hand and pulls her down, dragging both of them underneath the truck to hide. Two massive, terrifying monsters or demons approach. They look nothing like humans. They pull Connie's lifeless body out of the truck and drop it into a capsule filled with liquid, casually chatting away without a shred of fear. They talk about how human meat from this specific farm is of the highest grade. The kids here are raised simply for them to consume. The smarter the kids are, the more delicious their brains taste. Everything clicks in Emma and Norman's minds in a single instant. This isn't an orphanage. It's a human farm where children are raised simply as livestock for monsters.
Just then, Isabella walks in. She talks to those demons completely casually. Seeing Connie's lifeless body right in front of her, there is zero sorrow or pain in Isabella's eyes, not an ounce of guilt. She casually promises that next time she'll produce even smarter kids for them. One of the demons sniffs the air, sensing a human scent. It checks the ground below and finds Connie's dropped stuffed toy. It picks it up and hands it straight to Isabella. Seeing the toy, Isabella instantly realizes that some kids were spying here. By this time, Emma and Norman have already bolted, diving deep into the cover of the forest. Sitting in the forest, Emma breaks down completely. The woman she thought was her mother, the person who raised them, taught them, and gave them love, she was the one setting them up to be slaughtered. Accepting this brutal truth is agonizing. Norman sits next to her, trying to calm her down. Then he says, "We have to escape from this place." Emma looks up through her tears and says, "Not alone. We're escaping with every single kid here." Norman knows full well that escaping with so many little kids is practically impossible, but seeing the fierce determination in Emma's eyes, he agrees. The next day, both of them act completely normal around the orphanage. Making sure Isabella doesn't suspect a thing is the absolute priority. Sneakily, they head toward the massive fence. They cross the fence, push deeper into the forest, and reach the very edge, only to find a towering, colossal wall blocking their path. Scaling that wall without any equipment is impossible. Norman says they'll need a sturdy rope to climb the wall, and they need to figure out a way to get it. Meanwhile, back on the field, a small kid suddenly disappears while playing. Everyone else gets worried sick, but Isabella doesn't panic at all. She smoothly pulls a gadget out of her pocket, checks the screen, and walks straight into the forest. A few moments later, she brings the kid back to the field by the hand. Emma and Norman exchange looks, realizing a horrifying truth. Isabella has implanted hidden trackers inside every single kid, allowing her to monitor everyone's live location on that watch-like device. This means escaping without disabling those trackers first is going to be infinitely harder. The next day, the two of them hide ropes inside a hollow tree deep in the forest. Just as they finish, Ray shows up and catches them red-handed. Ray cuts straight to the point. "What are you guys hiding?" Norman and Emma hesitate for a second, then lay everything out for him. Connie's death, the monsters at the truck, and the entire dark truth of this farm. Ray doesn't throw a fit. He's a pragmatist. After thinking about it for a single second, he says, "I'm helping you guys with this mission." The three of them head to the library to do some research. They find some special books. Every single one of those books has an owl stamp on it, surrounded by encoded messages. The three of them work together to crack and decode those secret messages, and finally, a name emerges: William Minerva. He was a man who knew the entire truth about this farm and wanted to send a message to the kids through these books, urging them to escape from this place. This was a new ray of hope. That evening, Isabella gathers all the kids in the main hall. She introduces them to a brand new assistant, Sister Crone. Crone looks pretty bizarre and terrifying. Emma, Norman, and Ray tense up the moment they see her. Now, instead of one, they had two enemies watching them over their shoulders. Escaping with their lives was about to get a whole lot harder. The next day, the game session is special. Emma, Norman, and Ray get all the kids started on a game of tag in the forest. But this time, it wasn't just a game, it was training, hiding, running, helping each other out. Everything that would come in handy on the night of the escape had to be learned right here, so nobody would panic when the time came. But Crone wasn't just sitting around either. She joins the game herself and goes all out trying to catch the kids. She's both strong and cunning. Norman observes the entire situation from a distance and signals Emma. The rest of the kids team up and constantly outsmart Crone, leaving her unable to catch them. But after this game, Crone realizes one thing: these kids are working like a tight-knit team, and they must have a plan. That night, Emma, Norman, and Ray meet in secret. Norman starts to say something, then stops. Then he reveals that information about their plan is reaching Isabella way too fast. That means someone right among these kids is acting as Isabella's spy. To smoke out the spy, Norman comes up with a brilliant trap. He brings two kids his own age, Dawn and Gilda, into the inner circle. First, he drops the brutal truth on them: Connie's death, the demon farm. Dawn initially refuses to believe it, but when Emma starts crying saying Connie is no longer in this world, Gilda believes her because she knows Emma never lies. Dawn accepts it too. Now the trap to catch the spy is set. Norman told Dawn a specific hiding spot for the ropes behind the ceiling, told Gilda a different spot under the bed, and told a third, unique location to only one special person. That night, one of the kids in the orphanage sneaks out and drops a secret note right under Isabella's door. The note details exactly where the ropes are hidden and adds that Norman is a dangerously smart kid. The next morning, Norman, Emma, and Ray go to where the ropes were hidden, but the ropes are gone. Ray says angrily that either Dawn or Gilda must be the spy. Norman just smiles, completely calm. Then he says, "No, Ray, neither Dawn nor Gilda is the spy." Norman explains that he only told one person about that third spot. The spy leaked every single location straight to Isabella. Ray falls silent. Norman looks slowly at him and says, "The spy is you, Ray." After a few moments of silence, Ray confesses to the truth. He had been working for Isabella for a long time just to save his own skin. He knew escaping alone was impossible, so he struck a deal with Isabella. He would act as her spy, and in exchange, Isabella would push back his adoption date. Ray even reveals that he intentionally left Connie's stuffed toy behind on the table. He wanted Emma and Norman to make it all the way to the gate and see the horrifying truth of the farm with their own eyes, so they would plan an escape, allowing him to break out alongside them. Hearing all of this, Emma and Norman are dealt a massive shock, but they know Ray isn't evil at heart. Emma says, "What you did was wrong, but we still trust you." Instead of kicking Ray out of the team, they turn him into a double agent, Isabella's spy on the outside and Norman's man on the inside. Ray takes them to their room and opens a hidden hatch beneath the floorboards. Stashed inside are some gas canisters and a special gadget that Ray built himself. He explains that this gadget can completely jam the signal of the trackers embedded inside the kids. Isabella's monitors won't pick up their locations anymore. That evening, Ray goes to Isabella and throws her off track with a lie, claiming that Emma and Norman are planning to poison their food. Isabella smiles and thanks him, but immediately drops a cold reality check. "Ray, your adoption date is coming up in just a few months," meaning Ray's execution date was locked in too. He shakes from the inside, but lets zero fear show on his face. The 5 kids head toward the wall to test out the ropes and the tracking jammer. The moment they reach the wall, Crone ambushes them and catches them red-handed. Everyone thinks it's game over, but Crone does something nobody expected. She says, "Don't be scared. I'm not going to tell Isabella anything. I want to help you guys." The kids can't believe it. Then Crone pulls down her collar to reveal a scar and says, "There's a chip planted inside my body. If any kid escapes from my custody, or if I move against Isabella, headquarters will fry me with an electric shock through this chip." Crone reveals that she was also raised in this orphanage. She wanted to oust Isabella and take over as mom of this farm, just to save her own life. That's the only reason she wants to help the kids. That night, the 5 kids sneak into Crone's room. There, Crone tells them the darkest and truest history of this world. She says, roughly 1,000 years ago, a brutal war broke out between humans and demons. Millions on both sides were wiped out. To put an end to this bloodshed, both factions struck a massive treaty known as the Promised. According to this treaty, humans and demons split the world into 2 separate realms. The demons promised they would never cross over
over to attack the human world again. But in exchange for this peace, humans had to agree to a deeply cruel condition. The condition was that demons would be supplied with human children to eat. To fulfill this exact condition, secret farms like Gracefield were built across the world, where orphan children are raised in exceptionally nurturing environments. The smarter the kid, the more valuable they are to a demon, because consuming a smart human brain boosts a demon's own intelligence and power. If they don't eat human brains, they regress back to feral, beastly states. This is why Isabella forces the kids to study so hard, and why they take daily IQ tests. When the kids ask about the trackers, Crone explains that a tiny tracker is embedded right behind every kid's ear, letting Isabella track everyone's live coordinates on her watch. Now, with Ray's jammer built and ready, the kids shed all fear. Seeing this quiet confidence, Crone realizes they've figured out how to block the trackers. The next day, Crone is in the kids' room when Isabella walks in. She's holding a letter. Handing the letter to Crone, Isabella drops the news. Orders have come straight from headquarters. You are being reassigned to another orphanage as a mom, and you have to leave right now. Crone knew this wasn't a promotion. She was being turned into demon food herself. Isabella had figured out her game long before. Crone leaves, but before walking out, she leaves behind a special pen for the kids. As she reaches the main gate, Crone runs into the grandmother, the top supervisor of the entire system. Making one last desperate bid for survival, Grandmother tries to tell Grandmother that the kids at Gracefield are planning an escape, but Grandmother has absolute blind faith in Isabella. Before Crone can even finish her sentence, a terrifying demon emerges from the dark corridor. At Grandmother's signal, it strikes Crone down, and right there, Crone is finished. With Crone gone, Emma and Norman waste zero time diving straight into the next phase of their plan.
The two of them quietly sneak toward that massive wall. They want to climb it to see what's actually on the other side. Meanwhile, back inside the orphanage, Ray keeps Isabella distracted by talking to her. But Isabella is way smarter than these kids. She had already suspected Ray's game. She immediately locks Ray up in an empty room. Then she heads straight toward the forest herself. To rescue Ray from captivity, Dawn rushes in. Dawn quickly smashes the lock and gets Ray out. The two of them sprint toward the wall to warn Emma and Norman, but by then it's already too late. Isabella reaches the wall directly, corners the two of them, and chews them out. She says, "I gave you everything here. Great food, nice clothes, plenty of love, a safe life, and yet you tried to break the biggest rule of this orphanage." Right at that second, Emma sprints in and grabs Isabella tightly from behind, locking her arms so she can't move. Emma screams at the top of her lungs, "Norman, don't stop! Climb the wall and get out of here!" But Isabella's strength is far beyond anything Emma imagined. In a split second, she violently shakes off Emma's grip and, in a fit of rage, twists Emma's leg so hard that it snaps right then and there. Emma drops to the ground, screaming in agony. Seeing this, Norman's feet freeze in place. He flat out refuses to abandon Emma in this brutal condition and run away alone. Isabella smiles. Then she drops the news that orders have arrived straight from headquarters. Tomorrow is scheduled to be Norman's adoption day, meaning tomorrow is his very last day. That night, the four kids meet up in secret. Ray says, "We only have tonight left. Tomorrow morning, we'll fake an injury on Norman's leg or hide him somewhere inside the orphanage." Norman flatly rejects the idea. He says, "If I try to run or hide, Isabella will slap a high alert across the entire orphanage. Security will get even tighter. At that point, helping the rest of the kids escape from here will become permanently impossible." With deep emotion, Norman declares, "If I have to give my own life to save my brothers, sisters, and friends, I'll gladly do it," with a smile. The following morning, Norman calmly starts packing his belongings. Right at that moment, in the corner of the closet, he finds that special pen that Crone left behind.
Norman inspects it closely and realizes this is no ordinary pen. Something is hidden inside. Norman slips it into his pocket. Before leaving the orphanage, while nobody's looking, Norman quietly climbs up that towering wall. He wanted to see what lay beyond so he could clear a path for his friends one last time. As he reaches the very top of the wall, the breath is knocked right out of him. On the other side of the wall, there is no land or road. There is a massive, deep, terrifying ravine. It's so deep that if anyone fell down there, surviving would be impossible. Norman realizes there is only one way across this ravine. They have to find a bridge that stretches over it, and that bridge sits right next to the main gate, which is heavily guarded at all times. He climbs back down from the wall without letting a soul notice. He draws a map of the ravine on a piece of paper. He writes down all the details. Don't jump straight near the wall. The ravine is too deep. We have to find the bridge. He hides the map and the pen right under Emma's bed. Evening falls. It's time for Norman to go. All the kids gather in the main hall. The younger kids think Norman is heading off to a wonderful family. They're happy, but Emma, Ray, Dawn, and Gilda know the grim truth. Limping with her broken leg, Emma makes her way over to Norman. She hugs him tightly and weeps uncontrollably, knowing full well that the second he walks through those doors, the demons will slaughter and eat him. Norman wipes the tears from Emma's eyes. Smiling, just smiling, he says goodbye to everyone. He looks over at Ray, saying nothing. Without a single word, the two of them bid each other farewell. Then, accompanied by Isabella, Norman walks inside the main gate. Inside the gate lies a secret corridor. Norman is led into a room. A wealthy-looking man is standing there. Peter Rottry, dressed in clean, sharp clothes, with a smile on his face. Peter announces that he is no ordinary man. He is the supreme leader of the human farming operation running across this entire world, turning humans into demon chow. He has always been fascinated by Norman's intellect. He starts breaking everything down for him in detail. Norman looks straight into Peter's eyes and says, "You don't need to tell me anything. I already know what's going to happen to me here. I came here of my own free will to save my friends." Peter is stunned by this sheer bravery. Then a terrifying demon emerges from the back of the room and creeps toward Norman. Back at the orphanage, Emma's heart is shattering from grief. She is completely broken by the heartbreak of losing Norman. Burdened by her broken leg and a heavy heart, Emma can't even move from her bed. Isabella enters Emma's room. Stroking her hair with deep affection, she says, "Emma, you are the smartest girl in this orphanage. I understand your pain, but it's time to accept the reality." Then she offers her a deal. "I want you to become the next mom of this orphanage. Start your training. If you agree, you'll be spared from becoming demon food and live a life of absolute luxury and safety." Emma gives no answer, but deep down, her resolve hardens like steel. Meanwhile, Ray is completely gutted too. Norman was his best friend, and now he is gone from this world. He sits quietly in a corner all day, speaking to no one. Then one evening, Isabella visits Ray. Seeing the gloom on his face, she smiles and says, "Ray, your spy duty is finally over. Your number is next for adoption. Your shipment is scheduled in just a few days. Get ready to die." Hearing this, not a single trace of fear crosses Ray's face. Instead, a bizarre, fierce spark lights in his eyes. He had already made his mind about something. Finally, that night arrived. It's Ray's last night at the orphanage. In the dead of night, Ray is sitting alone in the dining hall. Right at that moment, Emma walks in. Emma says, "Ray, we still have a chance."
"I have a plan to get us out of here." Ray cuts her off right in the middle of her sentence. He says, "It's way too late now. Emma, Norman is gone. My hopes of getting out alive are completely dead, but I am not ending my life by becoming demon food. I've already made my own plan for this." And before Emma can even process what's happening, Ray strikes a match and tosses it onto his clothes. A massive sheet of flame engulfs Ray instantly. Smoke fills the room. Seeing this horrifying sight, Emma lets out a scream. Hearing the commotion, Isabella sprints like a madwoman toward the dining hall. She freezes dead in her tracks at the horror before her. The entire room is roaring with towering flames. Sobbing uncontrollably, Emma cries out, "Mom, look! Ray set himself on fire. He's inside." Isabella panics hard.
She immediately pulls out her tracking device. On the screen, Ray's signal is blinking right dead center in the middle of the flames. Isabella is completely convinced that Ray is burning inside that fire. Wasting no second, she grabs the fire extinguisher mounted on the wall and goes to town trying to control the inferno. But the moment Isabella's entire focus shifts to putting out the fire, Emma quietly slips away and vanishes from the spot. When Isabella finally spins back around, Emma is completely gone. Left on the floor are just a few drops of blood and a severed piece of human skin. For a split second, Isabella's brain completely stops working. Then everything clicks at once. This whole thing was a setup. The story flashes back. Norman already knew that Ray was planning to set himself on fire, and he had explained to Emma that they needed to turn Ray's stubbornness into their ultimate weapon. After Norman left, Emma had quietly shown that note to Don and Gilda. Over the past few days, while Emma was faking her leg injury in bed, Don and Gilda, along with the other older kids, had been secretly preparing for the breakout inside the orphanage. Food, medicine, clothes, ropes, everything was being stockpiled. Running at night, climbing walls, and practicing how to cross the ravine were all drilled into them. Ray hadn't been let in on these preparations because Isabella watched him 24 hours a day. Emma had already revealed the whole truth to Phil, the smartest little kid in the orphanage. Since crossing the ravine was way too dangerous for 4-year-olds, they made the call to leave them behind in the orphanage with Phil. Emma promised Phil, "We'll be back in 2 years and we'll break everyone out of here." The story snaps back to the present.
The truth was, when Ray was about to douse himself in oil and light the match in the dining hall, Emma had yanked him backward at the very last second. Then, pulling out a sharp blade, she rapidly sliced away the tracking device hidden behind Ray's ear. That's why there was blood and a patch of skin left behind on the floor. When Norman had said his goodbyes at the orphanage, he had slipped a map and a secret note right under Emma's bed. The entire escape blueprint was laid out in that note. Emma tossed the tracker and some of Ray's old clothes right into the fire, so Isabella's monitor would trick her into thinking Ray was burning inside, while Emma carved out her own ear tracker with the knife. Then she grabbed Ray and bolted straight into the forest. As they run, Ray asks in shock, "Where are the other kids?" Emma flashes a smile and replies, "Don and Gilda already took out the trackers for all the older kids. Everyone is already heading toward the wall." Back at the house, Isabella slams the alarm, alerts headquarters, and sprints toward the forest herself. Out in the woods, all the kids are charging straight for that massive wall. Their trackers are dead. Isabella can't track them anymore. Everyone is running with everything they've got. Don and a few of the older kids reach the wall first, scrambling up with the ropes. Then, one by one, they haul every single kid up to the top. Looking down at the deep, terrifying ravine on the other side of the wall, the little kids freeze for a second. But instead of fear, pure determination burns in their eyes. Sticking to the game plan they practiced, Don puts his entire back into swinging a sturdy rope through the air, hooking it securely onto a tree branch on the far side of the ravine. Then, one by one, the kids clip fabric-made hand harnesses around their waists and zip across the abyss on the rope. Below them lies a bottomless drop. One single mistake means instant death, yet not a single person backs down. The older kids go first, catching the little ones and landing them safely on the other side. Within minutes, almost all the kids clear the ravine. Now, only Emma is left standing on the wall. Just as she reaches for the rope, Isabella arrives at the scene. "Stop, Emma! Don't go any further! You won't survive in the outside world. That demon world is way too dangerous." Emma pauses for a second, looking back at Isabella. Then she drops 3 simple words, "Goodbye, Mom," and leaps across the ravine, grabbing the rope. Isabella can't stop her. Emma touches down safely on the other side, and Don instantly hacks through the rope with a blade. Now, Isabella has 0 paths left to reach the kids. Standing alone on the wall, Isabella stares out at the kids sprinting across the other side of the ravine. She could easily sound the alarm and summon a legion of demon soldiers from headquarters, but she doesn't. Looking at Emma's courage, seeing that fierce grit in that little girl's eyes, Isabella's heart completely melts. Watching the kids run away into the outside world, Isabella flashes back to her own childhood, back when she was just a kid stuck in this very farm. She had dreamed of escaping too. She had made it all the way to the wall, stopped dead in her tracks by the deep ravine, and chosen the path of becoming a mom just to survive. Today, Emma and the rest of the kids pulled off what Isabella never could in her entire life. A soft smile breaks across Isabella's face, and she whispers softly, "Go on, kids. Save your lives and always be happy." In the next scene, we see Isabella standing before grandmother and Peter Rochery at headquarters. She takes full blame for the kids' escape. Right at that moment, a demon standing behind her steps forward and drapes that exact same red flower over her chest, the very same flower that was left on Connie's body. The next scene isn't shown on screen, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what Isabella's final fate was. Meanwhile, with the first rays of dawn, all the kids push past the forest and step out into a stunning, wide-open landscape. For the very first time, they are standing outside the borders of Gracefield. Emma pulls that special pen given by Norman out of her pocket. The second she clicks the button on the pen, a holographic screen projects right into the air. A complete digital map of the outside world pops up, accompanied by a destination code, B0632. Where was this place? Was William Minerva's help actually waiting for them there? That remains unknown for now. Emma stares at the map. Ray walks up beside her. The two of them look at each other and smile. Norman wasn't with them today, but because of the blueprint he left behind, they survived and they were free. Emma steps forward, grabbing the hands of all the other kids. She says, "This is our new beginning," and all the kids press forward deeper into the forest, walking straight toward a new, unknown, and innocent morning of the world. Hope you all enjoyed this story. If you liked it, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a notification for our latest uploads. See you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.